Have you wondered why 200 years ago you could get raw chicken for free from your own land? Or you could give a couple apples to your neighbor to get some good old raw chicken, raised with love. 100 years ago, you could get good old raw chicken, raised with love, with 50 pennies, 50 little cents, 1 little copper coin. You could get raw chicken. Delicious. Freaking raw chicken, the pink meat. But why is it that now you cannot even find the good old raw chicken? It's all the GMO garbage, Frankenstein chicken, and you have to pay half of your paycheck for it. And if you find the good old raw chicken, you cannot afford it. I thought we have progressed as a civilization. We always talk about we are so progressed as humanity and civilization. But it seems like our monetary system is backwards. It hasn't progressed. Just like us, our species have de-evolved. Our monetary system is built on shit. Guess why?
Federal Reserve.
Yes, Federal Reserve. It ruined everything. The monetary system was pretty shit before that, probably even, but this was the final nail in the coffin, and it happened over 100 years ago. And we are paying the repercussions. We are paying big time right now. This is why young people can't afford any good resources anymore. This is why inflation is sky high, and everybody knows fiat money is bullshit, just like the Fiat cars.
While Griffin was not the first to report on the secret meeting, at the time of publication of his book, much of the mainstream press dismissed the idea as conspiracy theory. Regardless, even the Federal Reserve itself has come to acknowledge and commemorate the meeting.
Yes, where it all ended. And guess who created this meeting? Rockefeller, Rothschild, J.P. Morgan, Carnegie. There's probably some people behind even there.
The meeting was organized by U.S. Senator Nelson Aldrich of Rhode Island. Aldrich's daughter Abigail was married to John D. Rockefeller Jr., son of Standard Oil founder John D. Rockefeller Sr. As mentioned in Chapter 1, Big Education, in 1903, Aldrich helped establish the Rockefeller's General Education.
It's all tied together, the education, the medicine, the science.
Board, which allowed that family to reshape the trajectory of public schooling. Aldrich also led the efforts to reform the monetary system into a mechanism which would allow the bankers to gain even greater influence over the economy and thus the people. Aldrich served as the chair of the National Monetary Commission to study the causes of the Panic of 1907. In this role,
Really what? Why I said the monetary system was kind of garbage before it. It starts when you start usury. Lending money with high interest rates. That's some criminal shit. But guess what? The bad guys win in this world. They get the world. They manifest the best. Who manifested this shit? John D, boy.
drew up the Aldrich Plan, which would eventually influence the Federal Reserve Act of 1913 and the establishment of the Federal Reserve System. However, before the passing of the Federal Reserve Act of 1913, Aldrich was meeting with an elite group of bankers at the Jekyll Island Club in 1910. Regular members of the club included the banking houses of the day, the Morgans, Rockefellers, Warburgs, and Vanderbilts.
Yes, these guys, they learn about Federal Reserve. Next up, We go to the
including the
Switzerland.
Council on Foreign Relations and the Trilateral Commission.
Yeah, learn about this.
In the wake of World War I, another powerful institution was created in Basel, Switzerland, the Bank for International Settlements, the central bank of central banks.
No! Another piece in the puzzle that ruined everything. Why Switzerland didn't fight in any wars? Why all these big money guys go to Switzerland? Why is World Economic Forum based on Switzerland? Why is CERN on for Switzerland?
The BIS was originally created to process the World War I. BIS was originally created to process the World War I reparations from Germany. The BIS also helped provide liquidity to European governments during economic instability. Although the U.S.
Look at that Tower of Babel. The original Swiss people that Western Price found, they were healthy as living in the mountains. They were eating that cheese and butter with rye bread, pretty similar to Finnish diet. And then some goat milk and all day. They were built perfect. Man, living in those Swiss Alps must have been beautiful. Those communities probably destroyed now.
U.S. Federal Reserve did not join the BIS until 1994. As of 2022, 63 central banks have joined.
See the Greenland? Go live there. Go live in those countries. Even Russia is part there. Probably the best place to live would be Greenland, but it's cold as hell. What is this place? Around here is probably good places to live. Around here is probably good. Here is pretty good probably. Here is probably pretty good. Might be a little dangerous for white guys. Maybe no, maybe yes.
In the book, The Tower of Basel, The Shadowy History of the Secret Bank That Runs the World, British journalist Adam Labor outlines the history of corruption and scandal at the heart of the BIS.
Yes.
Labor details how the BIS had countries assign their gold reserves to BIS accounts. The BIS would also process payments between countries. This made the BIS an ATM for many nations, including Hitler's Germany during World War II.
Really?
Labor outlines how the BIS helped process payments for Hitler, which allowed the Third Reich to flourish and finance it.
Why didn't Hitler invade Switzerland? The mountains were too big. Shut the fuck.
Its war efforts. Labor also examines the collaboration between Swiss bankers and Nazis in his previous book, Hitler's Secret Bankers. The BIS is also essentially immune from all banking regulation and international laws. It is seen as an independent financial entity for central bankers, run by central bankers, and virtually self-governing. Due to the BIS being located in Switzerland, it is also protected by the secretive Swiss banking laws. We don't have the space in this format to fully expound upon the tangled web of history weaved by the IMF. The BIS is also essentially immune from all banking regulation and international laws. It is seen as an independent financial entity for central bankers, run by central bankers, and virtually self-governing. Due to the BIS being located in Switzerland, it is also protected by the secretive Swiss banking laws. We don't have the space in this format to fully expound upon the tangled web of history weaved by the IMF, the World Bank, and the BIS. However, it is crucial to understand the role played by national central banks, as well as the impact of the international banking institutions. This is stating that central banks should take advantage of the efficiency of digital currencies.
Yeah, blockchain. This guy runs this place. It's Jabba the Hutt, bro. Jabba the Hutt runs the money of this world. At least the public face of it. Not the real guys who run it.
From the general manager of the Central Bank of Central Banks, that's a pretty big endorsement. And shortly after Karsten's statements on efficiency, the BIS and the central banks of Australia, Malaysia, Singapore, and South Africa agreed to test the use of digital currencies for cross-border transactions.
You dumb fucks.
The BIS Innovation Hub say they are attempting to develop, quote, shared platforms for cross-border transactions using multiple central bank digital currencies.
Uh-oh.
In a 2020 talk titled Cross-Border Payment, A Vision for the Future, Karstens gave a peek behind the curtain,
A vision for the future. This is how these guys manifest everything. Bro, we need every smart genius out there on our side. Every good propaganda marketer who can lie their asses off and sell bullshit to the people. Come to the truth side. Start selling nature to the youth and everybody else also. So we can take over these guys. We have to take over these guys. We cannot let Jabba the Hutt run the money system to the ground. Bro, this guy makes so much money probably. He's eating the gold. He's even eating the gold and shitting the gold.
telling exactly how the bankers see CBDCs being used.
Let's hear
We
it.
don't know, for example, who's using a $100 bill today. We don't know who.
Yeah, that's good. You don't have to know everything, bro. We want some privacy. These guys try to make everything centralized as fuck, bro. We need to decentralize everything. Small communities, small tribes, leading themselves. And then you can trade a little bit with decentralized currencies where nobody, no government, no Jabba the Hutt knows about how you spend your hard-earned money, man-made money. If you're gonna spend some man-made money, we wanna spend it how we want. We don't want Jabba the Hutt to know how we spend it, and then tell us how you gonna spend it.
Who is using a 1,000 peso bill today. A key difference with the CBDC is that central bank will have absolute control on the rules and regulations that will determine the use of that
No thanks, it's a no for me, dog. It's a no for me, Jabba the Hutt. Go back to your cave, bro.
expression of central bank liability. And also, we will have the technology to enforce that.
Oh yes, technocrats are involved. This was the whole plan, to give everybody's freedom away without them even noticing it. It's the technology. They had to bring this technocratic state to take everything away from us. And the sad part is, everybody just goes along with it because the technology make their dopamines suck ass. Everybody's super low dopamine, so they cannot see the truth. They cannot see the obvious in front of their freaking heads. And they are addicted to the technology. You own nothing and you will be happy. That's the technocratic slogan, and it's working like charm. It's working like charm, bro, on these normies and NPCs.
Karstens views CBDCs as a tool for eliminating privacy and for central bankers to force citizens to use currency exactly when, where, and how they are told. This is the next stage, and the bankers plot to dominate and profit off of all facets of society.
Yeah, bro. It's a no for me, dog, like I said. And it should be no for every dog. Everybody who has that dog inside of them.
While what we have described here may seem fantastic or unbelievable, rest assured, the bankers have infected all aspects.
That's how they sell it. This is so amazing. We have progressed so much. Our standard of living is so freaking high. We are so advanced as a species. No, we are de-evolving like a motherfucker.
of our world. Even if you are not ready to see the central bank digital currency staring you in the face, we have more than enough evidence of the criminal acts of the banking class. The banks have profited from or funded drug trafficking and countless bloody conflicts around the world.
Yes, all the wars are bankers' wars. These guys are just out there to get more money. Jabba the Hutt, you eat enough already. You have eaten way too much. You probably blue light toxic. You're getting high on your own supply, boy. Let me help you. Let's bring you back to the Swiss Alps. You can eat all the freaking milk and cheese and butter you want there. But stop ruining things for everybody.
HSBC has been implicated in allowing drug cartels to pour money into their banks. Wachovia and Bank of America have also been linked to money laundering for drug cartels. Whichever angle you choose to look at this situation from, the banking cartel has clearly had an overwhelmingly negative impact on the planet.
No shit. They ruined everything, bro. Not the hell. It's no big deal. They just ruined everything, bro.
To mention that
And it's getting worse. There are some solutions, maybe.
the people running these banks clearly have ulterior motives and plans which are guiding their decisions.
No
What can we do to break away from the chains of the banks and the families who run them? Solutions. What can we do to break free from the clutches of the nearly all-pervasive
Stop using
banking
the
system?
banks.
Is it even possible to live a normal life without participating in the banking system? For start,
Not in the modern, progressed, high standard of living civilization where everything sucks. It ruins everything. It takes your soul away from you. It ruins your health. It ruins your brain. You cannot think like human being thinks anymore. You have no fulfillment in life. You cannot be content about anything. So, if you want to live in that system, go to the bank. If you don't,
starters, it is absolutely possible to live a fulfilling life without submitting to the banks. The reality is that if we continue to use the banks, we are condoning their action by participating in their corrupted system. If we aim to live in line with our values and principles, then we ought to support institutions which align with our values and boycott those that do not. Not only is it important to boycott the banks on principle, it's also necessary because participating in the bank systems also supports other projects you might not approve of.
yes! This is so. I didn't even realize this for a long time. If I give my money to the bank, they invest most of it to the projects they wanna do, bro. And those projects, they are most likely terrible, bro. Oh my god. This banking system is horrible.
For example, with fractional reserve banking, you deposit $1,000 into your bank, and they only hold a fraction, say 10%.
Nobody told me this about cool. I didn't. Nobody teach me this shit. Who know? Like the normies, who knows about this? You give money to the bank, and they spend it on whatever projects they want.
And the rest they invest in all kinds of projects. This could be surveillance projects, pipelines on indigenous lands, or partnering with the foundations and NGOs on nefarious schemes. The point is, you have no say in how your money is used.
Fuck off.
If you want to have a say in how your money is spent, and you need to use a financial institution, try starting with a credit union or a building society. Typically, these organizations are locally focused and customers are members who can vote how funds are used. For those who are ready to abandon the banking system altogether, research the boycott and divest from the bank movements. In the years since the Occupy movement launched, activist organizations have launched coordinated divest campaigns with hundreds of people closing their bank accounts at once. This might not be easy for everyone, and it might involve making some changes in your life to meet the logistical challenges, but it is possible.
Bitcoin.
We should take note of how difficult it has become to live a life without a bank account or a credit card. If you are looking for ways to get off the fiat currencies of
It might be difficult for a little bit, then you get used to it. People did it way longer than we did this banking system. This is super new, and it has been horrific for us in a super short time period. Man, everybody would be so much happier without this shit.
Government, then study alternatives like private cryptocurrencies or precious metals like gold and silver. As noted earlier, there is a distinct difference between privacy coins like Monero and a CBDC. Cryptocurrencies are by no means a panacea, but for the moment, they do offer an opportunity to transact value anywhere in the world nearly instantaneously without banks or governments.
Alloy the all-tide, the only one I like is Bitcoin. Or the ones are shitcoins.
Finally, as the concept of money and currency evolves, it might be time for communities to pursue the creation of new currencies altogether. This could be digital in the form of a new crypto token, or it could even be a physical currency backed by a commodity. Local freedom cells could create currencies that could be traded within an emerging alternative economy. The point is that we need new forms of exchanging value and trading goods that are not dependent on or supportive of the banksters. Breaking free of the financial prison they are attempting to erect is absolutely necessary if we wish to see the end of the pyramid of power.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is probably one of the most important videos with every other single video I have made, because I only make very important videos. Annuit Oceptis Novus Ordo Secularum. New World Order, huh? Anyway, we need to start doing some shit about this. Fast. Well, now you know. Let's start doing better.